And as I'm like also doing this type of work, I'm reprogramming how I'm living because I used to hate Mondays. Traveling, I love Mondays. I can't wait for Monday. I
Yes.
would wake up like, what fun am I gonna do today? That's the mindset I had.
Understood.
What fun am I gonna do today? And it was crazy.
Yeah.
So 1,000 was great because like I'm in between Egypt and Jordan and Turkey. So like this Middle Eastern area.
This is Pay Me in Plane Tickets. Enjoy.
Well, man, happy New Year's, man. Welcome to the year. Welcome to the podcast. I'm glad to have you on the podcast. I was always interested in your content and wanted to get your story and your journey from yonder to now. So I just want to start from kind of the loose beginning. So where you from and more.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. You know, I waited like a month. I was excited. I'm like, all right, I'm about to set this mic on fire, man. About to let
Ready
it
for
out.
it.
No, thank you again for having me. Where do I start? My name's Derrick Akinyanju. I'm from Los Angeles, and my story is just like anyone else's. Um, I quit my job to pursue a very dormant dream of traveling the world. That's where I want to start off.
All right.
Yeah,
And
and
then so you're from LA, you took this leap of faith. Were you always into travel, or did you kind of get inspired through other people, or maybe through a certain moment in your life that kind of got you into thinking of leaving the desk life and moving more into the skies?
it's a great question. So, um, this is how it started. My mom's a nurse. So nurses, if it, for people that aren't familiar with nurses, nurses have like these really crazy schedules where they work like 12, 15-hour shifts in a day, for like 3 to 4 days. Then they get like five to 5 to 6 days off, something like that, right?
Right. Right.
Nurses traditionally had the best schedules for traveling. They still do. So so when my mom would, like have those weeks off or those days off, she would travel and she would take me with her. So my mom is Nigerian. I'm Nigerian myself. I'm first generation, meaning I was born here in the United States, first gen in my family. My mom migrated here when she was 21. So she's already international already.
Right.
So when she would have those days off, she would take me with her. Um, but by that time, I hated traveling because all I cared about was playing with my friends and McDonald's. That's all I cared about.
It's not a bad
So
plan.
it's not a bad no. It's life is simple, when you're 10.
Right.
It's simple, like. But no, I hate it. But she would take me to the East Coast, Nigeria, which is where we're from, and other parts of the states. But I did not like it because it was so boring. It took me away from everything that I have and own at home, which is like my video games, my friends, and McDonald's. So that bug was kind of just in there, but I didn't really appreciate it. Um, a little fast forward, I've been in Nigeria about 4 times now. I've even studied over there too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Um, During my senior year, I spent 6 months in Nigeria going to school over there. That's a whole nother podcast story, you know.
And this is the university, or this is high school?
This is high school. Yeah,
Oh,
they
wow.
call it secondary school over there.
We'll save that for
Yeah.
the next podcast.
Yeah, cause like there's like a thing within like the Nigerian or even like West African culture where if you're bad, your parents will send you back to Africa. Have you heard that before?
I have not heard that before. I never heard of
Okay.
that tradition. No.
It's not a tradition. It's like a I don't know how to say it, but it's a saying, like if you're bad, we're gonna send you back to Africa because like
Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it.
because like 20 years ago, Africa was just looked at as like a prison or like a bad place. It had a bad
Right.
stigma attached to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah, it was pretty much like this it was a form of punishment in a way.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. Um, and I was one of those kids that got sent back. And I'm not saying I was a bad child. It's just, I don't think my grades were up to par at the time. So my mom was just doing what she felt was best as a motherly instinct to send me back and get me up to shape. But yeah, so that's a whole nother podcast. Fast forward, I finished university, and this was like a huge moment for me. Um, because I felt like uplifted. I felt like I'm moving forward in life, and I said I want to treat myself. So by this time, it's been like 10 years, maybe a little over 10 years. I haven't traveled at all.
Okay.
And I said I want to go to Japan. It's been like a dream of mine to go there. So at this time, I had like a really crappy job, but I saved, and I had a girlfriend at the time. She's already been to Japan several times. So I asked her like, "Hey, can we like go to Japan to celebrate me finishing, university?" She's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." Like so she held my hand
Mhm.
basically. I definitely needed because I knew nothing of like how to fly. So when we got there, she just said, "Find out all the things you want to do, and then send it to me, and then she'll write the itinerary, whatever." And I think we spent like 8 or 9 days in Japan. And
Wow.
yeah, when I got there, Japan is exactly what I thought it was. It is it changed my life literally. There's a sensory overload of like
Uh-huh.
food, sound, culture, um,
Wow.
colors, and the best way I can describe it for people, it's like the country feels like a giant Disneyland.
Really? Okay.
Yes,
That's the first time
that's
I've
the
heard about
best.
that.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
that's the best way I can describe Japan. It feels like the entire country is Disneyland because Disneyland is like every corner you can tap into something.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's how it feels. So
There's something magical around every corner.
yes, exactly. And I think what sold me was just like the food and the vending machines. I've never seen that before. That's next level. But
All right. And what
yeah.
about the vending machines that made it so unique?
Um, the vending machines, it's not like American vending machines. It's like you can go in the vending machines, you can order something, and you can press it. And it'll come down. It can be ready, or it can be like a ramen.
Oh, wow.
Or let me. The ramen vending machine is really interesting. So you can uh you can pick like a type of ramen food, and the receipt will come down, and then you have to go into like this really sketchy alley, and then you can see just like five chairs and five windows, and that's it. And you can sit down, and then like you take that receipt, you give it to the chef, and he'll make it for you right then and there.
Wow. Wow. So
Yeah,
it's kind of like an on-demand chef through a vending machine.
through a vending machine. Exactly.
Wow. And now, which part of Japan are you specifying? Because you were there for 8, 9 days. This is like kind of
Yes.
your first trip at an extended trip, basically outside of the country.
Yes.
Um, so which part of Japan were you in on this first go around?
Tokyo.
Uh, all
Tokyo.
Tokyo?
Just
Did you
Tokyo.
venture throughout anywhere else? Or was it just all
I,
Tokyo?
all Tokyo, and I went west and I went east, but I didn't go to like any other areas like Osaka or anything like that. Just
Okay.
Tokyo.
So Tokyo was magical. And when did you go?
This was like 2016.
Ah. So
Yeah,
this sparked the travel sort of magic in you.
exactly. That
And
feeling, I hold that feeling every day because I never want to
wow.
forget how it felt. So I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, and this is, I've only been here for just a short period of time, but it's like I've been exposed to so many different things. I don't want to ever let go of this feeling.
Right.
So I said, if I feel like this for Japan, I wonder how I would feel towards other countries.
Ah, I like that way of thinking. And
Hmm.
then so you're in Japan, you come back from Japan. Was it the moment you landed back in the States, you decided, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to find a way to be more mobile? Or did it take some time to get to that thought? Because I know you're running through like this euphoria, but did it still take time for you to actually realize what you were planning to do with your life right now?
Yeah, I held on to that feeling and I said, at this time now I have I have a really good job, a
Mm.
decent job in San Francisco. I finished college. I'm moving into my apartment. And at this time, my mindset is just more of like stability.
Right. Right.
And this job, the great thing about this job is they gave me all the PTO at once the moment I got hired.
Yeah,
So
that's
this
unique.
is very different for me. Most other jobs or traditional jobs, like you have to work for it, you have to accumulate it over the years, over
Yeah.
the year. This one is like we're gonna give it to you all at once, and then you have to use it throughout the year, and that includes sick time too and all that. So it had a lot of good benefits, a lot of good time off, and I said, "Oh wow, like I can go anywhere," and
Yeah.
I said, "Okay." Um, I think the next trip was like Thailand. Thailand, yeah, yeah. So at this point, and I already filmed Japan because like in my mind, I already knew I wanted to make a YouTube. I just said I'm gonna film it.
Okay.
So and whenever I make that YouTube, I'll just upload it slowly. So I created the YouTube channel in like 2019
Mm.
and I uploaded it just whatever. And then I started like planning for Thailand. I started planning for Brazil. Brazil has like this carnival thing that's
Mm.
around this time actually.
Okay.
And I said, man, with this job, like I can really take my time and hit up all these countries I've always wanted to go to.
I see. And how the time difference between when you got back from Japan to then going to Thailand, how long did that take? What was that space of time?
Let's just say 6 months.
Okay, so this is relatively pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I just at this time, I'm just working. I'm just like trying
Yeah,
to build up income stability
right.
and preparing, preparing, learning how to travel. Because I've never, this is like my second country now, or my third, whatever. And I'm just taking my time to figure out what I want to do. And reason why I chose Thailand because like I think The Hangover, I finally saw The Hangover 3. And I'm just like, man, that's crazy. Like I gotta get there,
Right.
you
Was your
know?
experience was your experience in Thailand like The Hangover?
It wasn't like The Hangover, but I understood how it can be.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, I still had a great time nonetheless. Like I really took the time to see the elephant sanctuary, Tiger
Yeah.
Kingdom. I went to Bangkok. I went to I'm sure if you know, I'm not sure if you're familiar with these places, but like
Yes.
there's a lot of cool things that I read about, and I said, okay, I want to see it one by one.
No, I agree. I was blessed enough to go to Thailand as well. I spent some
Okay.
time in
Mhm.
we spent some time in Phuket and then northern Thailand, but not Bangkok.
Okay.
Forgetting the name, but
Chiang
Koi.
Mai.
Yes, Chiang Mai and then
Chiang
Koi.
Mai.
It was a Koi name. I'm blanking on right now. But no, go on. I was blessed enough to visit Thailand, and it's a wonderful country as well. Had a great
Okay.
time. Definitely felt the the peaceful presence of all the people. That was one thing I really enjoyed about being there. Most places you go to, especially from where we are on the East Coast, it's hectic, it's busy, it's
Yeah.
a bit fast. But
Yeah.
in Thailand, you were able to take a pause and sit, and I needed that. That was a good time.
Yeah, yeah. That was what I was focused on too. Kind of just relaxing, just
Yeah.
really just relaxing.
And
Um,
so when you were in Thailand now, so you go from Japan to Thailand, was it another week stint, or did you actually extend it for a little further since you had this very pretty much a sort of a guarantee in PTO?
no, so the Thailand and Brazil. Okay, Brazil. That's a funny story for Brazil. Thailand, I think I was averaging out like between 7 and 9 days for these countries. I think
Okay.
anything more was too much.
Okay.
Anything more was too much. It was Brazil. Woo! Anyone who
Let's hear it, man.
okay. So Brazil, there's an event called Carnival. It's once a year. It's like the biggest festival in the country. And I prepared to be there for 1 week.
Okay.
So I think let's just say like Carnival starts February 10th, and my vacation for Brazil was like February 1st.
Okay.
So there's an official date when it starts. So when I got there, it was already lit, but the official date of like when Carnival starts was the 10th. So I came prematurely
Yeah.
and I had such a great time. And when I got there, I called my boss and I said I was gonna quit.
All right.
I was gonna tell him, man, listen, it's been a great ride. I'm in Brazil right now. You I really don't even like you, you know. I wish you the best, but I'm gonna stay here.
All right.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that, but I was like, no, that's not how to do it. So
Okay.
instead, when I called him, I was like, hey, his name is Jake. He's like, hey,
Uh,
Jake, man, the carnival starts actually next week, so I'm gonna need another week.
oh, oh, you actually said that to him, to your boss.
Yeah, yeah. I called him and I said, I need another week. And he was like,
Oh,
hey, no problem. Have
wow.
fun.
Oh, that's a cool boss right there. That's a cool boss. Shout out to Jake.
Yeah.
Because
I had
yeah,
friends
go
that
on, go on.
didn't like that because like that is unprofessional
Yes,
in a sense. You could lose your job that way, but it worked out. He wasn't tripping.
I think because you came there so authentic on that phone on that phone call. I think there was nothing else left for him to do but to, of course, accept it and make
Yeah.
the best of the situation. But that is a unique. So Brazil pretty much was your first leap of faith with that phone call.
Yeah, yeah. That I was like the way things is looking over here, like I'd be pretty mad if I left right when it actually starts.
Okay.
So I stayed an extra week and I'm glad I did. It was a great time. I recommend anyone to go to Brazil during Carnival.
So during this time of during the first quarter of the year, pretty much.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
a 7 day trip turned into a 14-day trip. All right, dive in. How was Brazil? Give us the
Okay.
start and finish.
So this is actually 2020 Brazil. So at this time, I'm gonna paint a picture for you. Like the COVID virus is actually like
Yes.
slowly in the news,
Yes.
slowly,
Very true. Very
slowly.
true.
So um, it, Brazil as a whole, man, it's a very liberated country. It's very beautiful, beautiful people, um, beautiful beaches, fitness culture. It's something that I can't really describe in all words, but it's a tropical destination where people everywhere is beautiful. And I'm not saying like physically, just personality wise,
Mhm.
food, culture, the energy is very liberated.
Right. Okay. It's
And
definitely
I
yeah, it's one of those places where the it's beautiful inside and out.
yes, yeah. And I stayed in Copacabana,
Wow.
um, Ipanema, 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 something. Yeah, Ipanema. Mostly those two areas. Yeah, I
Okay.
didn't really go anywhere else. Just those areas. And
Okay.
Carnival, if anyone's ever been, it's literally, you have your official um parade party, but then like you have also these street parties. They're called like blocos or something like that.
Hmm.
And just tons of like thousands of people are in the street partying from sunrise to sunset.
Okay. So would you parallel Carnival to a Dia de los Muertos in
No,
Mexico? Okay,
no.
so it's higher or a bit. It's no, you're saying it's greater than that.
It's greater because like Dios de los Muertos, I just went to that. That's more of a celebration of the dead.
Yeah.
So there, and then like people have like the face paint and all that.
Right.
I would say the commonality between those two is like there's a lot of people in the street. That's correct
Okay.
because there was a sea of people in the street, but I would say Brazil is on a much grander scale of people
Wow.
in the
And
street.
and is it also grander in activity?
Activity too. Yeah, so people are partying from the morning, drinking,
Mm.
just everybody's just running. All the streets are blocked off. Then at night you have like your restaurants, your bars, your clubs, and then after the clubs is the street parties where people are still eating, drinking, and dancing in the street. Um, but then there's the risk of like getting robbed because the how do you say it, the locals from the favelas,
Mm.
they come from the above. They know this is the season to rob, tourists and gringos, so they come in,
I see.
and anybody that's outside after 4, is subjected to a robbery
Wow.
if you're
Okay.
not careful, and they get the drunk ones.
Of course. Yeah, you got to be careful, especially when you're traveling abroad in these particular areas. So the safety, was it much of a concern for you?
Yeah,
Mm.
because I'm gonna be on. Yeah, it is. Brazil should be. You should be just as cautious as anywhere else. 2020 research showed a lot of pickpocketing, and these pickpocketing comes from the kids,
Mm.
which are the most dangerous. um, and just reading blogs, you don't want to stand out in this country where your cell phone can pay rent for 3 months. You
Yes,
know,
very true. Very true.
so the danger. It was really hard because I filmed it too.
Oh, wow.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, but these are like crappy videos. Like I didn't even have like an understanding of like my style at the time.
Mhm.
I filmed it, and it made me very nervous to film in Brazil. It still does. I don't recommend, to each his own, but like to me, I feel like Brazil is such a vacation spot. You don't want to work on vacation, right?
Any vacation you don't want to work on.
Yeah. Is too much of a vacation spot to where it's like it doesn't make sense to have like a camera in
Right.
paradise. You know what I
I
mean?
I do want to get into your into balancing travel and your business, but I want to go back to Brazil in 2020. Was the carnival as um packed as it was during 2020? Because I know COVID was just coming about.
Yes.
Like I don't think for me, at least maybe you can attest to this. I don't think COVID hit my market in New York until about March. That's when I
Okay.
was aware of it. I don't know about when while you were there. Was or did Carnival just miss the COVID storm?
So this Brazil like right after I leave Brazil is where I take that jump into what happened. So it's
Gotcha.
gonna tie in. It's gonna tie
Okay,
in.
got you, got you.
So Carnival's over for me.
Mm.
I left and COVID hit the next week. It hit Brazil the next week, literally the next week. So I
Wow.
left a week early before COVID reached Brazil, and when it reached Brazil, it swept like a wave. Like there was
Yeah.
articles, people were dying, people are sick, everybody's sick, and I'm just like, wow, I really missed that wave.
Yeah.
So as I come back a week uh prior to the COVID, that's when like things start shutting down in the United States. Um, I think it hit New York. It didn't quite hit San Francisco at the time, but like at my job, my team is they're preparing. Um, we're getting like invoices from higher up saying, there's going to be some changes to stay protected. We don't know how serious this COVID thing is, and that's when like the lockdown. That was the beginning of the lockdown.
Understood. Understood. So you had just missed the wave, thankfully, because you would have probably had to pretty much, be locked down
Stuck.
in, yeah,
Yeah,
locked down
I
in
would have been
Brazil the whole
stuck
time.
there.
Yeah, which would have been
And
a whole nother story.
getting stuck is what um is the stories I was seeing on YouTube. So at this time, like I'm just at work or even just at home, I'm starting to see people making YouTube videos. I'm stuck in Colombia during COVID. I'm stuck in Brazil during COVID. I'm stuck in whatever. And I'm looking into these videos, and these people are saying the country has closed its borders and I can't leave because of COVID restrictions, whatever. And as I look deeper into this to these stories, these people were already traveling as a full-time career. It's just when you make these videos that I'm stuck in the country for COVID, you're now viral.
I
This
see.
was like a viral moment. And this is the type of video you want to make
Right.
to be viral.
Got you. They're capturing the moment in a way.
They're, yeah. So, and I'm just like, what they're travel YouTubers? Like I didn't know that was a thing. I never knew, you know?
Yeah.
And with more research, this is the start of like researching how can I get to this position. So
Right.
these guys are YouTubers. They for whatever I don't know whatever it is. I just kept getting deeper like in the rabbit hole, and you see that they don't call it videos anymore because I've been on YouTube for like 14 years. We just call it videos, making videos. Now the term that I see everywhere is called content creator, content creation.
Right. It evolved. It
It
evolved now.
evolved.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that always happens as the market expands, a new definition comes into play.
Exactly.
So
So,
you're starting to see this content creation, and this is off your seemingly your third big trip. You go Japan, Thailand, Brazil. What's your next step after this point? You're seeing the content creation of the making videos
mhm.
are really making a wave now, especially during COVID.
During yes, yes,
During
yes.
yeah, this is during COVID. So is it pretty much during COVID you started scheming?
Yes, all of COVID because it's really funny like how everything just played out. Like so during COVID, we're on a lockdown and I'm getting like bonus checks from my job. So I'm getting additional money from my job. Um, and then Trump was president at this time. We're also getting those stimulus checks too.
Right. Right,
The
right.
stimulus checks. So I'm getting like I'm noticing I'm getting additional money coming in, and I'm just like saving everything. I'm just saving all of it. And I'm like, I really want to look more into this travel YouTube thing because from what I'm seeing, like people are just uploading um whatever videos and
Right.
they're making a living off of it. I don't want to like knock anyone's hard work, but the competition didn't look that great.
Okay.
It doesn't look impressive, you know. It just looks like they just slapped it together and
Uh,
uploaded it. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, like this is so up my alley.
right.
I'm like, oh my, if this guy can get like 500,000 for just doing that, oh, YouTube, easy,
Yeah.
easy money, you know, as I thought.
You found a way
So
to carve your own to carve your own lane.
yeah, yeah. So also like with content creation, I'm seeing like a lot of like these ads and these content creators that are pretty much selling the same dream. Like I noticed they're all associating content creation with quitting their job. So you would see videos on YouTube everywhere for this niche, and they're like, "Hey man, listen, I used to be just like you, sitting at my office, bored, wondering what's outside of life." Until I took that leap of faith. I quit my job. I started making six figures Latin the next week. Now I got my own house in Bali, and you can too if you just subscribe, and I'll show you know just selling a dream, man. You know, like
Definitely. I mean, and when you hear those type of that type of rhetoric, you know over and over again, you don't
you
believe
believe it.
it. You kind of start to believe it, but there has to be something here. There's something in the air that's allowing this to happen.
And yeah, it's like I don't believe it, but I'm seeing it.
Right.
And then as you keep going deeper, I just kept going deeper. I'm like, dude, this is not the only guy. Like, there's a ton of these creators that are saying the same thing. So is content creation the new outlet to really be yourself and make money being yourself? Like,
Mhm.
and it just I tried to really make sense of it, and I said, this is real
Yeah.
because um I'm a very like logical person, but rational too, and I'm understanding like traveling to for me, I used to think traveling was very expensive. And it used to be. I would say it was a different type of money at the time. But the way information has changed, how we receive, how we can get information today, you know, there's articles, blogs, TikTok videos, Google. You have a lot of resources to learn how to travel on a luxury or even on a budget, and budget could be anything, you know. It's just there's more information now to make travel more accessible for everybody.
That's very true. Yeah.
But how can you turn traveling into a career? That's the tricky part.
You've hit the $1 million question.
Right.
And the thing is, everybody's route is
Different.
different.
Yes.
Exactly. So you're it's COVID, you're working, you pretty much have done a deep dive research into content creation, travel content creation specifically. All right, when did you decide I'm going to jump off this bridge and actually become uh, a travel content creator fully? Was it long thereafter, or did you still kind of, see the ocean a bit, but walk back to your house?
Yeah, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit on this one. So I'm slowly like piecing together like how can I find the highest probability of success? So I by this time I go to Colombia and I invest in a camera. I'm like changing my camera. I'm getting a laptop, little things like that, and I'm starting to like understand how to make better YouTube videos. Um, I come back and I ask myself, did I enjoy what I did? Can this work? And I just uploaded and I'm like, I like the feeling of like filming and being in another country. It's very different from what I've ever experienced. Um, and I said, yeah, I think I want to pursue this. I think I have a shot at this. So I said, okay, what can I do for the highest probability of success? And I looked into like starting an LLC. I looked into opening a website. I looked into I really listened to like what other successful travel YouTubers have done. You know, this one guy, his name is Lost LeBlanc. He's one of the most
Yes.
successful.
Yes, I've heard of him. Yeah.
I watched his video. This guy was like 1 minute into his video, this guy's like, I've got 10 streams of income. I say, what? I said, what? What did he say? Yo, what did he say? What did he say?
That's a
What did he
handful right
say?
there. That's two handfuls right there. Yeah.
I said, what? 10 I and like right there just like broke a lot of like it just broke my reality because like
Mm.
most people are just working, you know, and they
Yeah.
work, they have a good job, they have a solid income, and that's it. This dude said he has
Yeah.
10 different streams. So I'm just like, whoa, okay. So the idea is not so much of just making YouTube videos. The idea is you need to make YouTube videos to get you to the next step.
Oh, of course. It's a stepping stone.
It's a
Exactly.
stepping stone. It's the stepping stone to help you get to where you want to be. So I'm like, oh, okay. I understand now. All right. So yeah, and I watched him a lot. I was very inspired by him. And another person that I came across was Tayo Aina. He's a Nigerian YouTuber. I don't know if you heard of him.
No, I haven't. But you know what? I'm terrible with names. So if I saw his content, maybe I would recognize him.
Okay. Okay. Um, yeah, yeah. By this time, I'm like, okay, all the money that I got during COVID, I saved it. It was like 15,000, between 15 and 20.
Hmm.
And then I sold my car, my favorite bike, which has really hurt me a lot.
All right.
Um, I gave up my apartment I did all this to save money.
Right.
So instead of like, because I was even very like anxious to just quit and go
Right.
on 5,000, but I wasn't thinking straight because by this time I already like didn't like my job. It was really just killing me. I'm not even talking about my job because like it's like you imagine being a chef.
Mhm.
Your passion is to cook, but you work in construction just to make it. You know,
I see. Yep. Right.
it kills you.
Yeah. It's a whole different arena you're playing in, and that's not where your purpose is.
Exactly. So that's where I felt, and people that I worked with knew that. They just knew I was too outgoing, you know, for this company. And, you know, I just felt like I think this is the sign. I think maybe God has bigger plans for me. And I even said, let me even try to find another job before even really just jumping out into the world. I applied for like 300 jobs and I didn't get it. And why I also feel like it's not just me. This was COVID. So a lot of companies were just not hiring. Everything's on freeze.
That's true. That's
But
very
I
true.
said,
Yeah.
yeah, I just said, you know what? Every corner that I turn to, there's a door closed on me except this one angle. Let me just walk through this door.
Wow. That's powerful. And
Yeah.
so you finally did.
Yes.
Were you scared?
Yeah. No, I was so excited because where I went by this time, I already hit up like Colombia, I hit up Brazil, I hit up Thailand, Japan, and I said, you know what? I gotta go to Africa.
Love to hear it. Okay. So your first uh travel experience as a true bred entrepreneur, as a travel
Mhm.
content creator was Africa.
Yes, I went to Egypt.
Beautiful. Tell us, how was
Yeah.
Egypt in this new
Man,
position you were in?
and it was crazy, just I'm doing it, you know.
Hmm.
Um, just the transition getting there because like I said, I gave up my apartment and once I gave up that apartment, like the biggest bill was removed from me. I was able to save, and I just took these steps to get there. What's crazy is this trip to Egypt, I bought it with a travel credit card points. So I bought it a year in advance,
Right.
and so I gave myself a year. I already knew what I want to do. I gave myself a year to do to put it all together. And
Beautiful.
I went to Egypt, and it was just I don't know how to explain it. I wasn't scared. I was very excited. It's
Mm,
this is what I wanted. It's a brand new chapter,
right.
and I'm in a place that is historically very famous. And I said I need to see the pyramids of Giza.
Beautiful. You're in this fresh air, this fresh space. That's kind of what you're going through.
Yeah, fresh space, like I have it planned out. I know what I want to do. Um, but it's very new because like now it's like entrepreneurship is very different from like a 9 to 5. Like 9 to 5, you're working 40 hours a week. You're gonna be working like 100 hours a week
Right.
to scrub out a few dollars.
Yeah.
You know what
So
I mean?
and I like what you're mentioning because even though you're I like that you took a logical approach to this sort of new change or new direction in your life, right? So you finally head to Egypt and you're finally kind of this budding entrepreneur, this starting out entrepreneur, but you realize there's a lot of work that you're going to have to do to kind of maintain it. So you're enjoying Egypt,
Yeah.
but you know now you have to produce, you have to find ways to get to that 10 streams of income and or use this as a stepping stone, right?
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah. And man, it's fun because like at this time, like I wasn't worried too much because like I have like 15, like let's just say 20K on me. Like I'm good, you know.
hmm,
But that doesn't mean you should slack. So I definitely, would wake up every day. Okay, I'm gonna be here. I gotta film this. I gotta film that. And that's just what I did. I didn't play with it. Like if you look on my YouTube channel, I have 20 videos of Egypt.
yeah,
20.
gotta milk it.
So,
Yep, no other way to
and
put it. You got to do it.
that 20 didn't even reach nobody. It didn't reach.
So speak to the grind because I'm very sure when you were watching these other content creators,
Yeah.
I'm very sure even in like you're a smart individual, but I'm very sure to some degree there was this naivety where like it'll happen fast, just like for these individuals maybe. But
Yes.
it's
Yeah, no,
funny.
yeah.
It'll
Mhm.
take a minute before you
Yeah,
think,
no, you're right on the ball. So this is you're exactly right. So what got me to feel like I can really do this because I actually followed somebody who kind of left maybe like 5 months prior to me. He did the same thing. Um,
okay.
and I saw him grow right before my eyes. I
Mm,
literally saw it right before my eyes. This man was this man he was just doing half the effort, but his half effort went a long way.
I
And
see.
it took him just 3 months. And I saw that every person that I started following on YouTube within 3 to 4 months, boom,
Wow.
there was a a video taken off on their channel. And
Wow.
I said, okay, so it seems like when people just put in the effort, um, in 3 months, it's gonna happen for me.
So you were mentioning that you were seeing other people. You mentioned I guess a previous coworker of yours. 3 months, they're hitting these milestones. Is it working for you in 3 months?
Oh no, no, these weren't coworkers. These are other travel YouTubers I'm
That
following.
that you noticed. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So once it hit 3 months for me, I'm just like, wait a minute, nothing's happening, not even close.
Right.
Um, I said, nah, let's give it one more month. It should work for me because it worked for them.
Right. You had
It
this
didn't
template
work
you
for
were
them.
following. Right.
Yeah, it didn't work even in 4 months. I'm just like, well, let's just keep going. It should happen soon because it worked for them. It should work for me. You know, because I'm putting way more effort than the people I'm following. I'm telling you, I'm pushing out like movies, like really
Right.
high quality stuff. And I
Yeah.
just noticed like just the videos just aren't reaching anybody at all.
Okay. And is by this time is the financial war chest, has it been dwindling? Have you been able to maintain it or get something in?
So I had a plan um, to how I would use the money to properly, get the most. Um, I had a plan to get the most out of the money and the trip to find the most success out of it. So I had a budget of $1,000 for the month.
Pretty good, actually. Yeah.
No matter where I went, my spending power was 1,000. So the idea was the idea was to I can do whatever I want. That was the idea. You need to have fun, eat whatever you want within $1,000 for the month. And as I'm like also doing this type of work, I'm reprogramming how I'm living because
Mhm.
I used to hate Mondays. Traveling, I love Mondays. I can't wait for Monday. You know what
Right.
I mean? I
Yes.
would wake up like, what fun am I gonna do today? That's the mindset I had.
Understood.
What fun am I gonna do today? And it was crazy.
Yeah.
So 1,000 was great because like I'm in between Egypt and Jordan and Turkey. So like this Middle Eastern area.
Yep.
And the dollar is great over there. So 1,000 was a lot of spending power. I was going everywhere and just tracking it. I wasn't just spending, I was also tracking it because why I would track it is at the end of the month, I would make like a cost of living video for the area that I'm in.
Oh, nice challenge. Okay.
Mhm. So people can see how much I'm spending in these areas and because I think at this time people don't really understand um what your spending power is in these other parts of the world. People just think like you need like tons of money to be in these areas, to just have a good time.
Right.
But that wasn't the case. And like these videos are very great because it really broke down like accommodation, food, and transportation and how you can use those other bits and pieces of money and pour it into other activities while having
Mhm.
a good time.
Very true. You're kind of showing how far the dollar can stretch in other parts of the world.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I want to bring up a point because you were kind of talking about it. You're creating this content, and I believe this with travel content creators have it. I've always stated that travel content creators have it tougher than other content creators, i.e., a comedian content creator. They can start their career in their bedroom, pretty
Yeah.
much no startup costs. But you almost have to fly somewhere, stay somewhere, create the content, fail, start again, keep going, keep spending, keep flying somewhere, traveling somewhere, doing something new, doing a whole nother activity. But this whole time, uh, while maintaining your lifestyle, while managing this budget, as you just mentioned, or a budget, as you just mentioned, in the hopes of a return.
Yes. Because you have to think about it like this. Every video costs money.
That's very true. Right.
Like Mr. Beast, he spends millions on his videos.
He has to for
He
the
has
output he
to
wants. Yeah.
for the output he wants. And I think like he can spend he could spend 10 million on a video, but probably only get like 1 million back. So he's down like,
He's down.
9
Yeah.
million. You know, you
Yeah.
gotta think about it like
Yeah.
that. Videos cost money. These videos cost money. And when we break that down even more, travel is under the lifestyle uh niche. So YouTube pays the most under business and tech.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah. There's something called RPM and CPM. So if you're making videos about business or tech, you're gonna have a high RPM, which is how much YouTube splits with you for the ads.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When you're
Yeah.
making lifestyle videos, your RPM is not that high.
And so where does lifestyle videos rank uh against the business and tech? So if business tech is one, if business and tech is one, is lifestyle 10 or is it 20 or is it where does it
I'm
do you
not
know what
sure. I'm not sure. Like I just know business and tech are like the top two that make the
okay.
most.
The top
Yeah.
two bundles. Got you.
Yeah. Because like, you have like food, fashion, um,
Probably
uh,
comedy.
comedy,
Yeah.
entertainment, cinema, lifestyle, travels under lifestyle.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So to make these videos cost money, and I just said I'm gonna follow the formula that I've created, that
Mm,
I've seen other people do, and just hope for the best. Um, but that it's hard because you're really just at this time, I'm not even monetized yet, and you kind of feel discouraged,
yeah.
because when you go deeper into this, if we go deeper,
Mm,
before I even left, I'm searching for travel YouTubers that look like me,
right.
and I could not find any that look like me, at least that make travel videos. I
Right.
only found like a couple, but when you search, YouTube has a whole forefront of people that they want you to see.
Hmm.
But to look for someone that I can relate to, I have to scrub through the search to find somebody that looks like me. And I can, when I see that person, I'm like, yeah, I
Yeah.
I can see my success. This guy's successful. I can see myself in through his success, or her.
And there's only about a handful that you were able to notice. And you probably were
Yes.
digging deep just to even find that handful.
Yes. Yes.
And that was sounds like it was discouraging.
It's very, that wasn't discouraging. It was more of just like YouTube is a long game, and YouTube will it'll put you through the ringers, man. It's gonna make you feel a certain type of way, because you want to grow, you want to make these awesome videos. You see people make awesome YouTube videos all the time, and you're like, man, I wish I could be a person where I can just make videos being myself and make tons of money. And when you upload those videos and nobody's watching, you feel so discouraged. Sometimes I feel like, is it me? Is it because of how I look?
Mm.
Is my videos suck? A lot of that comes into mind, but
Mm.
I won't fully say it's how I look. I would say there's a small fragment of that is true. Um,
Understand. Right. There does exist an algorithm that pushes out whatever is more popular or top of the line before it gets down to I think the brass tacks of it all.
mhm,
And I want to touch upon the point that you also made is that travel videos are lifestyle, right?
mhm,
But let's say you do, as in your case, as an example, you would have traveled to Egypt, but Egypt is not the hot place at that moment. And it won't be hot for another, like, until the 2025 list, somebody says Egypt is the best place to go. Go check it out right now. Then maybe your videos become the, the the hot subject to go and look to and go for all the information on Egypt because now it's the hot place. So it takes like that 2 year gap or that X year gap before you can appreciate the content and the hard work that you put out.
I would yes, yes and no. So let me also express like my because now I'm starting to remember like all these feelings I felt in Egypt when I first started. It's starting to come back to me right now.
Yeah,
I
bring it back.
in Egypt, I felt a lot of discouragement for not just uploading, but like I would see a lot of creators also start the same time I did.
Mhm.
Um, on TikTok, I remember I was uploading on TikTok as well. And TikTok, I'm not getting any numbers, like no one, I don't know how to explain like
Mhm.
it's just not reaching people. That's like the best way to explain it. But I would see this guy and he would just upload just nonsense of Egypt, like he was getting 1 million views per upload.
Wow.
Yeah, I would, and I that's how I felt like I was already in Egypt before him uploading, and he just came in and just uploading just simple videos. One of them that I just laughed, like he talked about like there's a misconception that the pyramids is super far away from the city, but it's actually really close. He got a
Mhm.
million views for that. Then he got 1 million views for just going to Siwa. It's like he gets rewarded for just showing up.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Pretty much it was
saying?
it seemed for him it was this easy light work and you're noticing that and you kind of being very receptive to it.
Yeah, yeah. Because like I'm looking at what he's doing. What am I doing any different? And like I try not to like say, oh, his content's bad. I try to say like, what is he doing that I'm not doing?
Right.
And same for YouTube. I would see people uploading YouTube videos. Um, there's a guy I know that I didn't know him at the time, but we have a mutual friend.
Mhm.
He's from the East Coast and he was in Egypt the same time I was. He made just 3 videos and his third video went viral in Egypt.
Wow.
And
It is like a story.
so I feel a certain type of way, rightfully so. And our mutual friend, he's worked with a lot of creators before. He's like a real plug in Egypt. He understands like how YouTube works. And he's not even a YouTuber. He's just a local that met a lot of YouTubers. And he would look at my channel and he would tell me, "All right, Derek, this is the truth. I don't know if you want to hear it, but this is why you're not growing here in Egypt."
Mhm.
He said, "The truth is you you look like us.
Ah,
You look like us." So what I didn't understand is there's something called market value.
okay.
He's saying you look like us, so we're not going to pay attention to you as much. And me and the Egyptians, we don't look alike, but the fact what he's saying is that I'm African in Africa. So there's
Right.
nothing exotic about that.
Ah,
The guy that I'm talking about on that
hmm.
that was making millions of views on TikTok, he's a white guy.
Right.
The guy that I'm talking about that made his third video in Egypt, he's a white guy.
Yeah,
So there's an exoticness to them when you
I see.
upload. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's this hmm, the the visual of them being the presenters kind
In
of
their
gave
country.
it
Yeah,
that attraction a bit. Am I
exactly.
okay? That's a very
It-
interesting take. That's a very interesting take. But go on.
it's called market value. It's
Yeah.
it's like, it's the reason why the top the top creators of Nigeria is white. It's a white guy.
It
I would
stands
say
out.
the top three is, you know, Tayo Aina is one of them, but the second guy I would say, in my opinion, is this white guy.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Um,
it
it
stands
it
out.
it stands out. It's the same reason why European couples go to the Philippines, they go to Thailand, and they start their YouTube careers because they stand
Wow.
out.
That just blew my mind. Okay. That makes sense. I see now. I see now what you're saying. I see
You
how
know,
I see how it's playing into I see how it's playing into the system. Hmm.
the number one traveling YouTuber in Afghanistan is a white woman.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, man. It's all
Wow.
market value. So I don't think these people knew, but it's just like this is how it works. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's I just felt like I really felt like I'm in a race where people are just, you know, running laps over me. So
Well, okay. So they do say comparison is the thief of joy.
yeah, it
So
is.
when did the leaf start turning green for you on this journey here?
Last month.
Congrats.
Last month, 3 years later.
Then
Yeah.
just a couple months later, the next week it all went up. I was like, oh wow.
3 months later. No, it still hasn't happened for me on YouTube because I say this. Last month, we're in January now. It happened end of October
Okay.
where I went viral on Instagram for the first time, for the very first time.
Congratulations.
I've gone viral before on TikTok when I reached Turkey. That was my first viral moment. So that was 6 months into the journey. I passed Egypt, I reached past Jordan, and then I reached Turkey. And I made a video where the video hit 7 million views on TikTok.
Wow.
That was
Wow.
my first
Okay.
one. Yeah, that was crazy. And what that feels like, what that feels like, people recognize you on the street.
I see. I was gonna ask what changed after that. Okay. You getting back
So it's
recognition.
so that's and I had wished that happened on YouTube because that would have really just changed my life. Because TikTok and Instagram, they're not a platform where you want to. They're not going to pay your bills. They're not going to do
Okay.
that. These are just like TikTok is a great platform for marketing. Instagram is just a platform where you have like a digital portfolio.
It's a good explanation. That's a great way to
That's
categorize it.
certifier app, you know. These are not
Right.
apps that are going to pay, um, but you can leverage, you know, like negotiation with brands, you know, through these platforms. It's only YouTube where YouTube really pays you to keep going,
Mhm.
you know, but it's changed a lot. So
So
I got the
so
7 minute. Go
oh
ahead.
no, so YouTube is the storefront. Yeah, Instagram is the portfolio, and TikTok is kind of the billboard.
Yes, the marketing, exactly.
Perfect. Okay, go on.
Yeah. Um you said what changed after the 7 million. So
Yeah.
when I hit 7 million, I'm just like, oh my God, did I do it? Is this it? That's what I'm thinking. Is this it? And no, it's not it. You got to keep going. But the whole country saw me,
Right.
and
Right.
it was cool. It was cool, and you know what they say is like when you have something like that hit, you have to, if you're smart, you know, do it again.
Mm.
But why this video did so well was just I caught a moment in time where this guy, he was brushing a cat, and it's very, I guess it was just very comical to watch, and I set it up in the video, so people saw me, but they're like, I've seen you before, I don't remember where. type of thing, you know?
Right.
Um, and I just kept going. But I'm uploading videos on YouTube for Turkey now, and it's just not reaching. None of it ever did. Even though I'm not getting the push that I'm looking for, I still kept going because like it's you got to keep going. It's gonna happen on one video. I don't know when, but you got to keep going.
So you got the hit on TikTok, but now the goal is to get the hit on YouTube.
That's always been the goal. It's always
Right.
been the goal.
Because
And
that's basically where the advertising can come in and actually subsidize the travel cost, the influencing cost, everything.
yeah, yeah. Now that I remember, so let's say like we're about 6 months in now, 6, 7 months in. We're about
Okay.
6, 7 months in, and I've used about $7,000. Let's just say that, right?
Okay.
Because I'm spending about a
Right.
thousand a month, right?
Yeah.
This new style of traveling, like I said, is very new to me.
Mhm.
What's happening now is I'm being backlogged.
Oh, okay. So now you have so much content, you have to, you're still trying to push it out as fast as you
There you
can.
go.
Got you.
Exactly. So yeah, so I when I got to I noticed I'm filming, which is good. I'm filming a lot. You should definitely film. Keep filming, but I'm not pushing it out quick enough.
Mhm.
So I'm in Turkey, but I'm pushing out videos of Egypt. And people that are following me on Instagram are like, why are you still uploading videos of Egypt when you're in Turkey? So it's a little confusing,
Oh, okay.
right?
Right,
Yeah.
right, right,
It's not good. It just throws people off, because Instagram's a very in real time
right.
platform.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I said, shit. Oh, oops, excuse my language.
You're fine. You're fine.
Um, I said, damn, okay. What I did is I got an apartment, and I got an apartment for like $300 for like the month.
Okay.
Crazy.
Where is this,
Crazy.
by the way?
It's in Istanbul, the Asian side.
All right.
Crazy. No, this is
Yeah.
real life. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I just said I need to just sit down and just push these videos out so I can catch up.
Uh,
So, and this is where I set myself up for failure at this point, very early. I didn't even realize it. So it took me like a month to catch up and push out all the Egypt videos to catch up to myself in Turkey. So now, like, I spent a month in Turkey. I haven't even explored the country. I've just been in an apartment for a month.
mhm.
And now that I'm ready to catch up, mind you, the visa is like 96
Yeah.
years, let's just 60 or 90 days, something like that, 3 months. So I'm in month two now, and I'm really taking my time because I love this place so much. It's like blue skies, blue water,
Mhm.
fresh air. There's a great transportation system everywhere. You got bikes, you've got the ferries, the trains, everything. I'm really taking my time, and I spent like a month just in Istanbul. So it's 2 months now. But I
Mhm.
said no, I want to travel through Turkey. So I spent the third month traveling through Turkey. So I hit up Cappadocia. I go west, I go
Wow.
south, I go west in the south area. That's where like the water is and whatnot.
Mhm.
So I'm burnt out in this country by month three. And I said, damn, I wasn't supposed to be here this long. Because like I wanted to reach into Russia and then make my way to Poland and
Okay.
hit up Europe.
Right.
But I'm so burnt out from this Turkey trip that I end up just going home for Christmas to just um
Recoup.
recoup
Right.
exactly.
How long did you stay in LA?
Just a month for Christmas, this
Okay.
Christmas time.
Quick. And then where'd you go back out to then?
So now I'm like, I hit up that area. I have some people I know in Argentina. So let me just make a Latin America trip now and
All
just
right.
work my way up to Mexico. So I start in
Beautiful.
Argentina and
Yeah.
and I have like how much money do I have? Like I have half. Like I have like 10,000 left. And I'm like, okay, I can make this work. So I
Yeah.
start in Argentina, then I spend a month in Argentina, then I have some friends that I made on this journey. One is from Las Vegas, one is from Egypt, one is from Chicago, and I said, let's have a group trip in Peru.
Mhm.
And they all meet me in Peru. We spent 2 weeks there. It didn't go very well. That's a whole nother story. Whole nother story. Yeah, it was a very bad trip.
All right. Part two
Um,
coming soon.
Peru. Then I hit up Colombia again for the second run. I spent 2 months there. And then I hit up Mexico, and then I make it back home. Yeah, I never returned back to Brazil.
Okay.
Never returned. Never
So
returned.
if I'm following correctly, it's Argentina, Peru, Colombia, Mexico, home.
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
roughly around 2 months, 2 months a spot. But I know Peru
Yeah.
2 weeks though. Okay.
Yeah. 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 Peru is a very beautiful country. It's definitely all about sightseeing, but it was so damn cold there. I didn't like it. It was too damn cold. Nah,
You're
It's
not used
it's
to that.
no, it's so cold that when we were in an Airbnb, like all four of us, it was
Yeah.
me and three girls
Yeah.
in Peru, and we're all sharing an Airbnb. And when it's so damn cold that when we asked the host to turn on the heater, he said they got to charge us for the heater.
Oh
That's
wow.
that's how cold it is. Yeah, because it's
That's
it's it's
wild.
in an area called Cusco.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yes, yes.
So it's this city on a mountain in the sky. It's
Yeah.
the highest
Right.
elevated. Sonic Hill Zone.
Yes, I do. I
Yeah,
do.
that's
Yeah.
Cusco, man.
It's
That
freezing.
people that don't know from my Sonic fans, that's Cusco.
And I'm assuming you must have went there. It had to be during like the like our summer months because I believe in the southern hemisphere it works in reverse, right?
I'm not quite sure. I
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't remember what season. Uh, the season we went was great.
Okay. It was just where you were.
It's
Yeah.
Cusco. Cusco's a cold place.
It is. Okay. I understand.
Yeah,
You was you were definitely in the struggle when it comes to weather.
yeah. I'm a beach guy. Like I wasn't.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So,
Mm-mm.
all right. So you're traversing through. What is your country count at by this time? Do you know?
Maybe like 10,
Okay. And what's your
maybe 10,
country count now?
20.
Okay, so you definitely added a good sizable bunch.
Hmm. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
So I want to put this into perspective. So you're a Black American traveling.
Hmm.
What's your experience in that space? Because I know you're doing the content creation, and I know you're also doing this for your own sort of personal journey. But
Hmm.
as a Black American traveling through these different countries, different parts of the world,
Yes.
are you seeing yourself differently, and are others seeing you and their experience? They're having a different relationship with the Black experience as well as you're kind of interacting with them.
Yeah, yeah. So this is a great question. As I'm traveling, I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm learning what I like and what I don't like.
Mhm.
And a big part of like traveling was I've been searching just for peace, inner peace, man. I've been unhappy for a long time, and I'm just searching for, what brings me joy. Like, is this gonna bring me happiness? Whatever am I seeking? When I finally get it, will I be happy? And that's what I've kept in my heart, traveling. As far as like the black travel experience, I didn't get that till I reached Asia.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, because in Central America, Latin America, no one looks at me twice. Nobody.
Understood.
It's you know, given the history, there are,
Right.
Afro Latinos, and they're all there. But uh traveling as a black person, like a black man, once I reached like Asia, that's when people would look at me, and not in a derogatory way or, malicious intent. It was more of just curiosity. By this time, my hair is a lot longer from when I started in Egypt. It's a lot longer, so it's
Right.
bringing attention. And like this most recent trip was like I traveled to 5 Asian countries in 8 weeks. So I started in South Korea,
Hmm.
and I traveled with some friends and my cousin out there, and it's normal. No one looking at me twice, which is fine. I don't want people to put me on a pedestal, but it's when I got to Taiwan
Hmm.
is when I'm seeing people like poking out of their cars, or I'm seeing people poking out of the restaurant, and they're just, little peekaboo, looks here and there.
Mm.
And
Understood.
this is when I started to record my interactions with people, and make it a teaching moment, because they didn't really care for my skin. They really cared for my hair and my hair texture and
Hmm.
my hairstyle, because
Right.
our hair is much different from their hair pattern. So it's like a phenomenon to them.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, exactly. It sticks out.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So Taiwan and Vietnam is the
That's
two countries, yeah, the two countries where I had the most interactions for my hair
Mhm.
and how I looked, I guess. Yeah.
Was there any Asian country that you said that maybe you felt safer or unsafe? Or no?
No,
They're all were pretty much
all
good.
all eight all eight. So I had this discussion with another creator this morning. Everybody everybody wins when you come to Asia.
Yeah.
The thing about Asia is, like I said, I carry a professional camera. I don't know if you're familiar with like the Sonys. I have a A7R II.
I'm not familiar with the cameras that well, but I do know Sony.
Okay, it's a full frame mirrorless camera. It's a good camera.
Okay.
And the fear of me holding this camera in Latin America was way different from me holding it in Asia.
Ah,
So
explain.
it it's safer. Asia is safe. It's there
Gotcha.
there isn't a country where I felt unsafe. But if I'm carrying this camera in Colombia, like I get nervous. I get very nervous.
Right.
In Brazil, in Argentina, people in Argentina, I was carrying in Argentina, people would literally come out their car in the middle of the street and say, hey, listen, put that camera away. You're you're gonna get robbed,
Wow. Wow.
literally.
Yeah.
Is it if you I don't know, like for people that don't know, I have videos of Argentina on my channel, but I don't have any videos of Buenos Aires, because when I was in Buenos Aires trying to film it, the locals kept telling me to put that camera away. It's
I see.
dangerous. So I don't like that feeling. I don't like to be in a place where I don't feel free, and I
Right.
just Latin America, there's workarounds. You got to use a different camera, not that one. But when I was in Asia, I literally just carry that camera with me all through Asia. No problem.
Okay. So pretty much safer in Asia. And I've heard that a lot because I know people who ventured to Asia. They could leave their very valuable items, such as a Sony camera or whatever, and nobody would touch it. They can leave their laptop, nobody would touch it. If you left it, they'll leave it there for you, and then you can go back and they give it, they give it right back to you, knowing that you had forgotten it. But it's different in other places, such as you mentioned in Latin America.
Yeah.
Wow. Right.
Yeah,
Wow.
no, that's true. I don't know if you've been to Dubai.
No, I have not. No.
There's a very funny thing that people do, even just for, you know, giggles. People would film themselves leaving their MacBook, their Bentley car keys in public spaces, a stack of thousands of dollars just in public spaces. They would, walk away from it, get a haircut, get some food, maybe, read a book next to the beach, and they would come back to that same spot and say, I left $1,000, the keys to my Bentley, and my MacBook right here for 8 hours, and no one came to take it.
Wow.
That's
You know,
Dubai.
that's a different type of hospitality.
That's Dubai, That's every country's different, but like, just the territory you're in. And Asia is similar. I don't think it's a good thing to steal. I mean, anywhere it's not
Of
a good thing to
course.
steal, but um it's just safer.
So I would love to get deep into that subject, but we have to save so much for part two now. I want
Okay.
to just begin to send you on your way. I know you have the rest of the day. You have a lot of things going on. We normally ask these sort of fun, quick, travel-y questions to kind of, you know, catch you off your feet and see if it makes think a little differently. Um, for the Pay Me and Plane Tickets podcast, folk. So let me know when you're ready for these quick questions here.
Ready, ready.
All right.
Listo.
So if you had to get paid in plane tickets, which airline are you choosing?
Turkish Air.
Ah, whoa, okay. Coming out of left field. Why Turkish Air?
They're pretty good. They're up there. That and Qatar Air. Qatar Air is good too.
I've heard good things about Qatar too. Yeah,
Yeah.
very, very luxurious.
Yeah. It's the first one that came to
Um,
mind.
Airbnb or hotel?
Airbnb.
Why so?
Um, there's just more flexibility with the Airbnb. It's more homey. Um, the hotels is very. I mean, no. I would go Airbnb. Um, it just
Okay.
feels like a home for me.
Okay.
Rather than just like you have your boxed room, your boxed bathroom. There's more personality to the Airbnb than it is to the hotel, and it depends. You get what you pay for.
That's true. Very true. And some would argue that Airbnb's um more personalized, because you're could be also in the center of the city. You could be more closer to the authentic parts of the city or a part of a particular location, not necessarily in
Mm.
like the hotel zone. You did mention a travel credit card. So which travel credit card are you? Which travel credit card do you fancy? Best way to put it.
I I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. Is it earning you great points in miles and such?
yeah. It's given me a lot of free trips. It's what gave me the trip to Egypt.
Right.
It's the only one I use. I'm not on the Amex Platinum yet. I don't think I need it.
I don't think so. I don't think anybody
Yeah.
needs it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's to have it is just more of a flex. But
It is.
I'm pretty content with what I have now.
The other downside is, visas are more accepted. When you go international, Amex is like a foreign word.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you mentioned a lot of good things you like about traveling and how travel inspired you. But what's
Mhm.
do you have a travel pet peeve?
Um, I what comes to mind is everybody travels differently.
Okay.
And I'm a person that likes to get the most out of the day because every day counts. Every day costs money. Um, some people when we travel together, they don't like to wake up in the morning. They probably start their day at 10 and miss their breakfast, whatever. Or some people just like to stay in one spot, throughout their entire trip. Um, I've learned to accept that, if what I'm gonna do for the day, I'm gonna do it. You don't have to do it.
Mm.
Um, as far as like a pet peeve, nothing comes to mind. I just don't like people dragging my own plans.
Ah, okay. So you're a fan of making the most of the location, or possibly the trip. You're not into the sort of the laggers in a way.
Yeah, like I said, like I'm okay with like chilling too. I'm totally okay with chilling, but like if I have plans, like I'm gonna do it regardless. I'm not gonna wait for anybody.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
communication is just huge, man. Like I gotta have it. Okay, I would say lack of communication is a pet peeve. That's what I would say.
All right. Carry on or check bag.
I like to travel light as possible.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
carry on.
All right. And if you're on the plane, you go window, aisle, or dare I say middle seat.
You know what? I used to this is also really good. This is very debatable.
All right.
It's very debatable. Like, it tells a lot about who you are.
True.
I like the aisle seat because I need to use the restroom at some point. At some point. So I don't have to like get up and move past people, be very annoying. You just get up, go to the restroom, and boom, it's easy. It's convenient.
See, great minds think alike.
Yeah. It's not that bad. Like I think aisle seat
It
is
isn't.
good.
There's a stigma against the aisle, and I don't know why. I love it.
I'm definitely not middle. Hell no.
All right, last but
Um,
not least, if you had to travel to one place for the rest of your life, where is it and why?
dude, that I don't know because I haven't been everywhere.
That's true.
Uh,
Very true. Very true. We do get a lot of, I have no idea. For right now, it's just Earth.
yeah, I can't even tell you. I can't even tell you that honestly. There isn't a place where I can see myself keep coming back to.
Mhm.
Because I can get bored easily from a place too
Mhm.
much. I really can't tell you that.
No, it makes sense. All right. And why is travel important to you?
Oh man. Because it's a gateway to rediscovering yourself in a whole new world. And
Yeah.
I think given I'm from Los Angeles, uh traveling is a privilege, no matter how you look at it, and it's open for everybody to have. But it's important because it definitely expands your horizon and teaches you a lot about how the world works. Like I said, I'm from LA where my neighbors have never even seen snow before, more or less have a passport.
Right.
And where I'm from, like we're not thinking about traveling. That's like the last thing in our mind. Um,
Yeah.
given like, the neighborhood is just it's like at 21, like, there's Europeans that travel to all of Southeast Asia. But at 21 here in Los Angeles, we're trying to get money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'd say it's very important, and I would want everybody. I would definitely prioritize, our people, because it's such a amazing feeling to see that there is a world outside of United States. And the world is huge and it belongs to you, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I would say. It's so important. I just would want people to understand, like, you need to have your passport to understand that the world is a lot bigger than you think.
It's beautiful, man. Beautifully put. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, no, that passport is very powerful. And it can change your life and change how you view not only the world but also yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, man, you put it out there. You are definitely an inspiration, Derrick. I gotta
Thank
admit.
you.
Yeah,
I felt
we
like I
gotta
didn't
have you
go
back
deep
on.
enough. I felt like I didn't go deep enough, man. Like I
That's
kept
why
telling you,
part two is
like,
coming. Part two is coming. We gotta do it.
I gave you the statistics about it, but I didn't get in the skin, man. I like,
No, we gotta go. We gotta go like at least 5, 6, 7 layers deeper than this. We'll call this the warm up.
yeah, like, oh my God, I know what I wanted to say, but I just kept giving the numbers and like how I felt, but
Yeah,
it's deep. It's really deep, like, because I wanted to say that a lot of people um a lot of people do want to do this, but they're not in the position to do so. And
yeah,
that's why I say traveling is a privilege, because when you see the people that are traveling as a career, you don't realize that ad that I saw of them saying, I quit my job and now I got a house in Bali. That job that he quit he was working for his dad.
right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Like, these playing fields are not the same. There's tons of people that want to travel as a job, but they can't. They probably have children. They probably have a family to take care of.
Yeah,
They have so much responsibility where, traveling is just not a priority,
yeah. No,
and
yeah, you're right.
this is the real world. You have to be in such a position where you're not owing any student loan debt, even though I am.
We all are.
you you're not a liability. You're not paying car loans. You're not paying mortgage.
Yeah,
It's not qualified for everybody.
yeah.
You know what I
It is
mean?
truly a blessing, as what you're describing is. There are people who fortunately can. There are people who have other priorities, that responsibilities that have to come before traveling. It's a luxury.
Yeah.
It's traveling is our Louis Vuitton. Man, Derrick, part two is coming. We got to do it.
We gotta do it. We gotta do it. I would love to go deeper, man. Like, I really want to go deeper, and I just want to make people. I want to validate how other people are feeling, because I know I'm not the only one that
No,
feels right.
you're giving the raw and real, and we're gonna need that.